In March of 2019, the NCAA released an advertisement covering the proposed day in the life of one of their student athletes. The advertisement received much hate and backlash when it was aired during the NCAA men's basketball tournament. My name is Mac Friday, and I took to the streets of the Cronkite building to find out why this was such a hated ad by recruiting a couple of my sports journalism acquaintances. Hope you enjoy.
I'm very confused as to what's going on. Bring some pills. I don't know what the shimmy's for. Okay, so he's a basketball player.
I like how it's like no name state, like they don't give you a school.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
I don't know anyone who goes to bed like that though. Anyone who falls asleep like.
Yikes. Okay, definitely not good.
Yeah, so it was the NCAA student athlete commercial that kind of went viral a little bit, especially because the whole policy about student athletes not being allowed to be used in any commercial benefits for any sort of company or anything.
It didn't get horrible until the very end there, where the guy chimes in at the end. The whole commercial is kind of loses you. It's just like it's trying to show, kid waking up, going to class, going to practice, going back to class, hanging out, like it says, right? Day in the life.
I think it's kind of cheap. It feels. I don't want to look at this with rose-tinted glasses and say this is right, even if it's not an accurate depiction. This is thematically true and what the NCAA should be showing and what they want out of their student athletes and out of the everyday experience for what are supposed to be regular college students. But the reality is they're not regular college students, and I think that needs to be addressed up front. And it's very much in line with the pay-for-play situation.
And then the narrator chimes in at the end and says, if you have the time and effort, if you put in the time and effort to succeed in school and in athletics, we'll provide the opportunities for you. That's not great considering, there's been this long-running debate about the NCAA and colleges paying their athletes.
These kids are making billions and billions of dollars for the universities, most of which are state universities, actual publicly funded, taxpayer-funded institutions. And the kids can't make a dime off of their own name. If you just look at the scale, they're drawing in billions of dollars. These events, the NCAA tournament itself, the biggest moneymaker of the year, it draws in billions and billions of dollars for this organization, and the kids on the court doing the actual event aren't reaping any actual benefits.
Not a great look by the NCAA. I remember when this first came out, and there was a lot of people on Twitter asking, why is this airing? Why is this still on Twitter? Why is it still airing during the national championship game? So it's not a great look by the NCAA.
If you were creative director for NCAA's marketing department, whoever put this out, if you're making an ad like that, how would you direct it?
I would go for something very similar, honestly. It seemed like they touched on all the right points of showing what an athlete's experience is. What you would expect. You'd expect the practice. You would expect the early wake up. You'd expect the game, and you would expect maybe like a look at a classroom. But you would hope like there's some actual social dynamic outside of the team, outside of their normal classes. Hopefully they interact as normal students do.
What the NCAA could have done to fix this is just probably done nothing at all. Just don't release a commercial at all like this.
One way or the other is going to get backlash because in one sense you're eventually going to end up going against your own policy of not allowing student athletes to be in any sort of promotion. But in the other end, then you're doing exactly what your policy is not saying. So I think as a whole you have to just change the whole rule and allow student athletes to be marketed because they should be allowed to make money too and be allowed to generate the revenue that these schools are getting. And I think that they make it seem a little bit, the life of a student athlete, I think they make it seem a lot easier than it really is. In this video, they make it seem very seamless and just like it's any other day. not really going through the stresses that student athletes go through, especially some of the opportunities that they are deprived of.
Do you think the NCAA deserved the backlash that they received? Do you think they deserved it?
Yes. This ad specifically did not warrant it, but it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
Because there have been countless instances every single time a game is put on TV, on national television, where someone's like, okay, there's these advertisement dollars, but where are these kids getting their free time or getting their compensation or getting any time to, work on themselves as students? But the most descriptive example of what the gripe towards the NCAA's biggest thing has been is a tone of hypocrisy to show what a supposed student athlete is like, for that only to be an inaccurate and also false account.
As the NCAA, do not pretend like you understand what the life of a college athlete is like, because they don't.
It's an actor. It's not an actual account, a dramatized example. So it kind of looks like you're just putting lipstick on a pig almost. You're dolling up the situation, but in reality, it's not how it looks.